Let's fight. A very good evening to each and every one of you. Let's fight. Wherever you're joining us from, Carol Glen, peace and power, Cheryl. We're happy that you're here with us. Cheryl, do let us know if you're hearing us loud and clear. Cheryl Glenn, do let us know. And Carly Dread, one love back to you, Carly Dread. One love back to you. Do let us know, folks, wherever you're joining us from, if you're hearing us loud and clear. I see so many of you jumping on the live, coming on the broadcast, and we're totally, absolutely privileged and thankful for all of you, wherever you're joining us from tonight. Pace and power, we see we're live on Facebook. Sherry the Redder, Shelly. We see you there, Shelly, the first comment on Facebook. Yep, Jackie Cameron, Tracy Clark. Good to have you folks on the live. Chevron McDonald, Debbie Hohenkirk, Edward Brooms on the live. Edward says here. He has joined Shelly the Ridder. Shelly. Gavin Jacobs, we see you as well. How are you doing, Gavin? Cycling Earl and Lynn Finance. Folks, we hope that you well. Lynn Finance says loud and clear at her end. Loud and clear. Thank you, Lynette. We're going to ring that bell. Yes, for Lynette. Lynette says loud and clear at her end. That's the kind of responsiveness, folks, that we like, that we love. We trust that all of you are good and well. Dan Griff Zandy, Leslyn Hamilton. Well, Leslyn got for say she ain't loud and clear. Just I guess we got to bring it down for you too. Take it so. Leslyn, good to have you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You know we mean well. Sometimes we get a little rough and so on, especially when them crosses run out. Especially when the crosses crawl out. Our good friend and pal and brother, Ayindi Jackson. Ayindi, how you doing? Ayindi, a very good evening to you. Pace and power, Ayindi Jackson. Folks, Ayindi lives in a far-flung area of this country. Some of y'all might call it behind God back. When Ayindi tunes in, you must know. When he tunes in, you must know, folks. Yep. Thank you so much to all of you. Pamela Sanchari. What's happening? Pamela Sanchari, Evelina Whitaker, Gloria Chester is here too, and John Board. Leonard Cox is here as well, and Bertrand Henry. Good to have you. Pamela Smith, Chevron McDonald, Shawnette Spelling Light. Good to have you too, Shawnette, and all the other folks joining us. Folks, wherever you're joining us from, hit that emoji button for us. Let us know how you guys are doing out there. Ivatni, good to have you on the live tonight, Ivatni, Leslyn again, and Joylyn, and all the Lyns. Marlyn, good to see you there as well, folks. I'm being very honest with the names I'm calling. Good to see you, folks. I see Doreen and Lyndon, Edward. All are here this evening, folks. We are so happy. We are so happy to have so many of you on the live tonight. On the live tonight. You all come to see me, so let's get on with it. Let's get on with it, folks. Let's get on with it. Part of the reason why you're here is to see a snapshot. It's not to have a snap glass. Not a friend of mine celebrated his 50th today, and I had to make sure that he had a good day. If you all find my words slurring a little bit. You know what's happening, good folks. You know what's happening. Happy to have each and every one of you there. Ring that bell one time for each and every one of you. Yep. And then we pull it back for just a couple of folks. Welcome to our broadcast. A very good evening to each and every one of you, folks. We start, first and foremost, we start with the opener. With the opener. Just in case y'all have been living on the rock. We have showed you. Professor Clyde Thomas was the first person who said, you know what, this oil and gas that we got here, one of the things we could be doing with some of the revenues is direct cash transfer to our citizens. I think it was 2018. Since then, and then you had Winston Jordan, former finance minister, followed up on that. And even more recently, again, Winston Jordan was the person who said, instead of this $200,000 per family, it might make more sense and less confusion powder if you do $100,000 per adult, per Guyanese resident adult. That's what he said. That is what he said. Even them left out resident. They left out resident. And they can come back in a couple of days, add in resident, and then fight us and say, Jordan never said that. He never said that. You watch and see. You watch and see. And that is the same way. That is the very same way. You got Jack me out here saying, no, this is not no original idea to us. It is not an original idea to us. I want y'all know the wicked. Y'all hear me? I hope y'all know the wicked. Take a look at somebody vice president, the vice president said recently.
The move to give $100,000 cash grants to every individual above the age of 18, according to Vice President Barajagdio, was something that was well thought out by the government. It was never a unique idea to the PNC. He stated that the shift from $200,000 per household to $100,000 per individual was so that everyone can benefit. It was also intended to reduce the controversy surrounding what might be considered a household and who might be the head of households.
We realized that you couldn't count on the goodwill of people anymore. That the exercise, because we want every person, every family to benefit, real family. But we would have ended up with controversy and a never ending issue to prove in a house how many persons were, how many households you had. And this was Friday morning. And by Friday afternoon when I did that interview. So we told Finance Friday to start relooking at the issue.
He added that no doubt the word went to former Finance Minister Winston Jordan.
I saw Jordan on Sunday. No doubt somebody from Finance told him we're reconsidering it. So Sunday he said, oh, I suggest that you go to 100,000 now, as though it's an original idea. The same man who said it will never fly. You heard him. Will never fly under the afternoon, never get it. I suspect somebody told him that. The government is reconsidering it to change it now. He claims credit for it. APNU is saying, it's our great idea. They are the idea now, I don't give a damn about APNU and their idea. For us, it's as the president said, we want this to be fair. We want to ensure that it's done transparently.
In fact, during his tenure as finance minister, Jordan did say that cash grants would never fly.
You're saying everybody in the population must get a transfer of cash and so on. I can tell you that will never fly. Never. Never fly. Right.
The government has announced that it will begin the distribution of the cash grants and that the process should be completed within 5 months.
Yeah. And of course, former Finance Minister Jordan was talking there about the methodology. And the very same way, Irfan was diametrically opposed just early this year to the very cash grant we're talking about there. But we got some other things that we got in the fight card that we want to bring to your attention. We're going to be talking to Mr. James, the chairman of the Mocha NDC. Mocha again, the try with Mocha. I want you all know the trying with Mocha. You better be aware what's happening in this country here. Y'all better be aware. They're trying with Mocha. You remember, hold on, before we get to our brother, Mr. James, y'all remember, these were the folks who said the people at Mocha were close to the road. They were very close to the road. That's what they said. The folks were very close to the road. Right? We took our cameras down there, and you imagine the PPP got the gall to be giving out those lands, those very lands, to friends, family, and favorites. We have showed you this before, good folks, and it continues. It continues even to now. Look at what we saw today as we were in Mocha, listening to the concerns of the people there. Look what's happening here. Huh? Look what's happening here, folks. This is Mocha I'm showing you here. The government says, you see right where that carpet is? People were living there. They said they were too close to the road and they moved them. And now look how they're giving out those lands, Sheena Hazel, and people are building on those lands. They're selling those land. English Carter, is the truth I'm telling you. We were the look story here. Look story here. Huh? And then you got some cross who tell you these must be the people who must win in 2025. Andrew says wickedness is victimization. And you got a cross who said these is the people who must go back in office. Victimization, Andrew says, vindictiveness, spitefulness, marginalization, discrimination. Thank you so much, Andrew. I got to take him assistant. I'm firing so quick like you this evening, Andrew. Thank you so much. It's all of those things. It's what Andrew said. Ring the bell one time. Andrew Griffin. It's what Andrew said, God damn it. Giving people those lands. Oh, y'all tag CNN, the man. Y'all tag the UN. Tag some N. Tag Biden, tag Harrison, tag somebody, please. Building on that. Y'all see wickedness? This is what the people call wickedness in high places. Wickedness in high places. And they said the folks in Mocha, who these lands were given to by Gaisuko, they were too close to the road. And this wicked installed regime could be telling us that the people are squatting too close to the road and they had to move them. It's wickedness. But I got another set of wickedness happening in Mocha. Another set of wickedness you better share the damn life. We can talk to the chairman about the PPP who's sending people to squat in Mocha. A PPP woman selling out the land in Mocha now. Selling out land in Mocha. Inviting people to squat. Same government that says squatting illegal. Mocha people gotta go because they're in the path of progress. And now they're giving out the same land, sending more people to squat, and then selling some of it. You're going to want to hear what the chairman told us today. More than the fight card. More than the fight card. Irfan, of course, in the fight card. Got to be there in the fight card. And we can talk about a couple of things. But first, folks, jailbird. Jailbird. You know, for a man who purports to be a businessman and this and that. Some of you know your label, you know. Oh, he's a biz who? Huh? If you in the court so often, and you're not a criminal, you gotta be a lawyer. You have to be making argumentations in the court. If you're in the court so often, you gotta be a lawyer. If you're not a criminal. Only boy Birdness this morning was charged with inflicting grievous bodily harm. When I did this in law, I think they said certain layers of the skin need to be broken for you get the tort, inflicting grievous, or for you get the infraction. Let me say tort. For you get the infraction, right? Inflicting grievous bodily harm. And remember that young man told us, that young Barbies businessman told us, and we saw Brian Purcell, how he was beaten mercilessly. Yeah, but mental health in this country is real. Some people walking around looking a certain way. But you know the elevator meeting the top floor. You don't know the elevator meeting top floor. Well, from all that we know, we see, and we've heard over the past few years, you know the elevator not meeting the top floor. So Barnes was charged today with inflicting grievous bodily harm, accused of attacking, as I said, Burbis businessman Brian Passal with a firearm while at the Montreal Lounge and Bar on September 29th. Of course, he has denied the allegations and he was placed on $100,000 bail. You either the criminal or he is a lawyer every week. Brian Passat matter, Simon Brooms matter, to Pui. It's always something. Always something. These are the crosses the people have to cozy up to. And a man can tell us, wicked vagabond, spineless French crapo. He can tell us these people are supposed to go back in 2025. Because we TV bought right. We TV bought right. So let it go back. We want to see more of this show. We want to see more boardness, antics. We want more to pre-contracts. We want more Bamia. Bring back Darmlal. And keep Priya. Bring back damn blinds. Yeah. That's how he would curse us. That is how some Bartness no able. No able. So people like police problems like this, If they're in a police confrontation, if they're in a lineup and people are looking through some glasses and it's he. That's the one. They don't feel like they're living. I hope you're happy though. I hope you're happy. Or in a country like this, you could get serious high-level government officials and among the scams and convicts and murderers and rapists they line with. And them is Jesus. They got the thing in them themselves. Wickedness. So charged with inflicting, as I said, those of you now joining us, grievous bodily harm. And that was perpetuated against allegedly businessman Brian Passat. Now he's placed on $100,000 bail. I worry a lot about this bail system here. You could beat a man 1 inch outside his life. I'm not attacking anybody here. I'm just saying it's puzzling sometimes. And $100,000. And a man alleged I call he a trench crapona jagabat. He is a trench crapona jagabat. And I went in almost $300,000. I never touched him, man. We were not even in the same place, the same space. Perhaps weren't even in the same country. Sometimes I worry. Worry about things in this country here. You never just worry, sir. You see what happened in the police force? You don't worry. You gonna get some ginkgo biloba, some nutrifus. You don't know yourself in this country a higher power to keep you stable. You just a shaking. It's problems. Whole country. See how Bob was charged. Inflicting. Next week is something. Next week is something. I keep telling you all, good folks, you stand up too long in this country to go with you. Thoughts and prayers with Mocha Stanford. Young, beautiful hairdresser from Wisma Linden. That's my born tongue, Got family at Wisma still. I was born in Mackenzie Hospital. Mocha has her salon there, Keisha Slay Zone. Doing her thing. Drinking she water, fixing the hair and minding her own business. Armed men on Saturday night. Punks on Mocha. Vacation just a try to make a bread. Eat her food the right way. 9:20 Saturday night, punks on her. Police force distracted. Police force distracted. You can get 40 cars, 300 policemen walking behind your phone. And if Mokisha called the station, no, nothing unavailable. Passing by the station, the door locked tight. Said the robbers stole $130,000 and a gold ring worth $60,000 from a customer before shooting Sandy Ford in the leg and fled. And fleeing, rather. Fled the scene. Right. Masked gunmen entered the salon, demanded the cash from Sandy Ford and valuables for her employee and two customers. What brazenness! What brazenness! Now if Mokisha had light him up, huh? If Mokisha had to take and go to back now, we gotta stop this thing, man. Come on. Here, fun, y'all get focused, man. I'm busy. Right? Well, I know how much you can do for Robeson. I know how much you can do for Go Slow. Right? He gotta get a lot of turpentine. I don't know how much you can do for him. We gotta pick up the speed a little bit, don't worry, fun. You slim down and so on. Make it count. Make it count, my God. Every time you come in the 592, these things traumatize you for a long time. Traumatize you. Makisha Nasolano, every little knock. Innocent people could die. No, Makisha got your thing. A little shadow pass. These things traumatize you for a long time. That's why I tell you. They traumatize you for a long time. Y'all don't stick up on this girl, yeah? Trauma is a hell of a thing. Trauma is a hell of a thing. Those of you people of prayer, pray for your sister. So that was Sunday. Right? Board nest charge, Mokisha rob. Y'all think this country is easy, you know? Y'all think this country is easy. Well, it is not. Tell y'all, once you come in the 592, once you come here, well, look, the roll up on the wrong man in Campbellville Avenue. This morning, the roll up on the wrong man. They thought they're going wrong by Mokisha. They said the suspect entered a store in Campbellville, a cell phone store, entered the store around 11:40 this morning, right? And held a 39-year-old businessman at gunpoint. One Dominique Narayan. We all know since I hear Dominique, I done vex. Since I hear Dominique, I done vex. Right? They got some real neo trench crapos. Since I hear Dominique, is it not that Dominique? But you ever had trauma the trigger thing in you? Hmm? You ever had trauma the trigger thing in you? Since I heard Dominique, I done vex. Right? I done vex already. I hope all Dominique is not the same. I done vex. Like, I even want to read this thing no more. Like, I even want to tell you how to do business. So Dominique Narayan was held at gunpoint. And the assailant demanded money. Narayan, a licensed firearm holder, was outside the premises. Again, this is Campbell Avenue. When this happened, right, he was outside his premises. They said a struggle ensued when another fella, 33-year-old Ronik Muhabir, entered the store, resulting in the suspect firing a shot that struck Muhabir in the hand. And then Narayan, in turn, discharged 2 rounds. 2 rounds. One of which hit bandit. And we're told that the injured bandit was taken to the Georgetown Hospital Corporation. Well, the honor is dead, he dead, eh? Your honor is dead. Your honor is dead, he dead, right? They take him to the Georgetown Public Hospital, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Folks over there, y'all know we are going, right? You can't just go in troubling people, interfering with people. Think, what's the matter with y'all, man? What's the matter with y'all? What's the matter with y'all? They tell us that Mohabir, so you could in the wrong place at the wrong time? Well, right place, wrong time. Mohabir is being treated at a private hospital. Carry the bandit at GPHC. Right? It was nice knowing him. Police recovered the suspect's firearm and are conducting further investigation. Michael Reed, Denise Samuel. I see Denise Samuels there. And instead of Denise, Dennies, I see Dominic, honest to God. I don't vex. I don't vex already. Right? They said carry Georgetown. My grandfather, God rest his soul. So anytime I go to Georgetown, you know, and I fall asleep, soon as I wake up, I check in for my limbs, everything intact. Galton. Folks, you see in this country, it's not like we making light of these matters, you know. Shannon is not like we making light of these matters. There's a coping mechanism here now. There's a coping mechanism. Right? So they carried to Joshua Hospital. So it was the lovely young lady in Linden over the weekend. Now you got Mohabir went in the wrong store. Narayan, Dominic, let me just say Narayan. Oh, the trauma. Oh, the trauma. Oh, the trauma. Please, we got to bring back law and order in this country. That's what's missing. Bring back law and order. Now they're telling us, listen to this. Brazilian investors eyeing medical school in Region 9. You see, in this country is closed down a medical school. You close down a nursing school in Region 10, and you open it around the corner in Region 9. Folks, this is that government, you know. You close down it around the corner, you open it wrong, so. Right? You got a nice hospital. Of course, you could be developed a little better. Right? Shannon was the area by y'all there, man. Hope Town. What's the name of the hospital? And right up the road, them boys put another new one. In their village. So you can stand up in one hospital and look across the road to the next one. Michael Reed, Waveney. Yeah. Why in this country? But they say it can be free. Tuition can be free. You don't worry. Government paying for it. Brazilian investors eyeing medical school in Region 9. Ali announced that a group of Brazilian investors, they have expressed an interest. People write this story wrong, you know. Expressed an interest in establishing a medical school in Region 9 with government support. That means it can be free. Y'all sign up. Right? He had a start turning event and he made this announcement. Good. He said it coming. This facility apparently aims to he said aims at government's broader healthcare investments. The investing in health, it's free. Brazilian investors, it's free. Government paying, y'all don't worry. Cloud9, government paying, you don't worry a thing. Sia Perez, Eva, Quota, government paying. Brazilian investors. And then, no sooner we finish with that, hold on, that's Region 9, right? They're telling us that government is establishing an MOU, a MOU. Government establishing a memorandum of understanding with UE for a medical school in Guyana. So we got a Brazilian medical school, right? When the oil finish, medical school we can run on. Now UE come in to establish a medical school. This is free too. You get out your pen, sharpen your pen, and get ready. Right? Get ready. That's gonna be free too. Free tuition. Government paying. Ali announced this. They will soon sign this MOU to establish the University of the West Indies Medical School in Guyana. Right? Yep. Again, he was at a Saturning event or a Saturn of events in Letem. I think that's what I meant. It was at the Saturn of events in Letem. He announced the MOU coming for the UE Medical School, and then Brazil doing one in Region 9 there. But they closed down the one in Linden. That's free too. Free UE, free MOU, free Brazil. Get ready to sign up, folks. Come and say they're paying for it. Free tuition. No more tuition. Right? The child got to pay, what you say pay in school? Contingency fee? Free. They can pay it now. Everything is free. Kevin Reese, free. Nima Flubats, free. All right? You know what's not free? PNCR got a bingo coming up. Bingo!
It's the PNCR Fundraising Bingo on Sunday, the 27th of October at Congress Place of Fire from 2 p.m. Over $5 million to be won. There will be 20 straight games at $100,000 per game, 3 letter games at $200,000 per game, 3 coverall games at $1 million per game. Tickets are $6,000. 1 ticket gets you 6 playing cards. Remember, it's the PNCR Big Fundraising Bingo on Sunday, the 27th of October at Congress Place of Fire from 2 p.m.
Chanel, I hope you get tickets. Chanel, I hope you get tickets. So not only Irfan giving money, yeah, get a ticket, $5 million at stake there. The PNC Medical School coming, Brazil Medical School coming. Well, sure can tell us. What else you can tell us? Irfan did promise to tackle the carnage on our roads and waterways. And we're learning. We've had so many accidents for this year. But motorcycle accidents seem to be taking the cake. But before we head there, as we on free tuition and so on, the University of Guyana said confused what's happening with tertiary education in this country. That's just my spin on it, folks. Let me tell you what it actually said. This is what it means to be politically correct. Right? As official plans, according to the university, progress to make the University of Guyana tuition free by January 2025, the institution has expressed its support for the initiative while acknowledging concerns about financial sustainability. Who would not? The University of Guyana has noted that tuition fees currently cover over 50% of its operating expenses, and discussions with the government are ongoing to address potential financial gaps. Good. UG also says that it has assured stakeholders that it is working to ensure a smooth transition, particularly for the 3,500 prospective graduates attending ceremonies November. UG also addressed concerns regarding outstanding fees, stating that all efforts are being made to ensure that students graduate on time. This initiative, announced by the President Irfan Ali, they said will benefit about 11,000 students and eliminate tuition fee, as you know. Yeah. And UG said a lot of students are asking about January, what is the modus operandi, what they must do, and so on. Because all now is time you got to start forking out your money, right? But I think UG was trying to walk a fine line here. But really, what they were saying that we are not too certain what's happening. But if you're all serious about this fair education thing, the tuition money that we take in cover half the expenses. So that's the starting point. And students have a right, as they have been expressing, fears about the quality of the education they're going to receive. Because if the things start dipping now, and don't put it past this government to try to crash. UG, don't put it past them. I hear Jack, you say, oh, you need people like Professor Jacob Opodei at UG. We entire the confusion in this country. Jacob is the fellow that supervised Irfan PhD, right? And for supervising it well, he now heads the goal program. Yep. I could imagine Irfan supervisor Opodei. Opodei. I got you. You don't worry, Opodei. I got you. Supervise his PhD according to them. According to them. And John said, he's a man. People like him you need. Forward thinking. Fell miss run Eugene the ground. Run Eugene the ground. Then he said, oh, somebody running out from there. That you know that is. Somebody run out over there. The man time to finish. It's only he want the time finish. And trying via all these different mechanisms, corporate presidency, and a whole manner of things to cling to power. Clinging to power vicariously. A very, very high number. Sorry. I took the volume off the cough and whatever you all send it back, right? We send it back. So we gotta pull down these numbers. Motorcyclists who are losing their lives wantonly on these roads. Right? Motorists, fatalities increasing on these roads. Come on, folks. Slow down and let me arrive alive. But this one was a laugh. The EPA telling us it has instructed ExxonMobil to independently investigate the seepage at Crane. You know the folks at Crane on the west side said the oily substance coming into their homes, through the ground, through the tiles, up through the floor, scratching the skin and causing all kinds of burning sensation. Yeah, there's a crossing government, There's a crossing government. EPA said they have instructed ExxonMobil to do independent investigation. Ah, you want thing to laugh about. And folks, I did tell you, Moody coming. Moody coming, folks. Moody coming. You all hear me? They said in November. Strange enough, didn't see a date. In November, Moody coming. Modi is coming. Prime Minister of India is coming. So we're watching that, folks. As we have more, you'll have more. And then we saw veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis, a man worth his weight in gold. Veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis telling these boys they got to pull up the socks. Right? What we need is an equitable wealth distribution plan through a 15-point plan that that's proffered in the past. This is the Trade Unions Congress. Right? And part of what Uncle Lincoln says is that the TUC supports economist Professor Clive Thomas' 2018 proposal for a 5,000 annual cash transfer to household to help address income inequality, among other things. Right? And then he went on to talk about this 15-point plan that the GTUC had proffered in the past, a plan that advocates for inclusive governance, equitable wealth distribution, among other things. He says the plan includes the direct cash transfer, unemployment benefits, tax reforms, enhanced healthcare, and education. It also promotes legislative reforms for democracy, trade union rights, and decentralized governance. Yep, all well and good. We love it. 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 We want good governance in this country. You all see these things Brutus accusing this government of, and then you got some crass, spineless vermin saying, oh, let them boys go back because of what he thinks somebody do. Huh? Let them boys go back. He says, you already things Brutus accused this government of?
The Calvin Brutus investigation into financial irregularities has become a very sensitive issue, with Brutus accusing senior government officials of being involved in the investigation. He has moved to the court citing political interference. Retired Assistant Police Commissioner Paul Slow quoted sections of Calvin Brutus's court filing.
That political interference was evident at the court hearing before Justice Nicole Pear, dated the 21st of August 2024. The Attorney General said that if the applicant doesn't report to SOCU, he would cause a wanted bulletin to be issued.
That was a claim by Assistant Police Commissioner Calvin Brutus in his petition to the court.
That at a court hearing before Madam Justice Nicole Pear, dated September the 19th, 2024, the Attorney General said that he would cause SOCU to widen the investigation to investigate each witness that gave statement on my behalf, evidencing monetary gain.
That was a further contention in Brutus's court claim. Assistant Police Commissioner Clinton Conway confirmed political interference into police investigations. He said that when he was arrested on what he called trumped-up charges, he was in the police station.
When I was arrested, I remember calling Happy, and Happy said, no, this political anything. And true to form, a politician, one of my contacts here contacted a politician who was a minister of government. I'm not going to call his name, but I'll call his name if I want to, because it is recorded. He said he's going to call Karim Bash and instruct Karim Bash to send us on bail.
He insisted that the Special Organized Crime Unit is incapable of conducting any investigation.
Because why, if a proper investigation is being done, a real professional investigation by competent people, why would the Attorney General see the need, as Brutus is claiming, to tell them to expand the investigation.
He then quoted Brutus of accusing the government of harassing him.
That the government embarked on a system of harassment of the applicant by obstructing lawful access to services at state agencies, including the Central Housing and Planning Authority, the Guyana Geology and Mines Commission, and the Environmental Protection Agency. Special Organized Crime Unit conducted unlawful acts in the investigations, including unlawfully and prematurely restraining the applicants and his family's bank account.
Brutus, his wife, and infant son are said to have some $800 million in 8 bank accounts in Guyana. Most of this money was said to have accrued in 1 year.
Yep. Welcome back, folks. Let's take you over to Mocha now, where we spoke to the chairman of the NDC at Mocha, who said you got a PPP lucky, Chihuahua, giving out land in there, inviting people to squat, selling out land. That's what's being alleged. And then the PP now turning it around and say, no, is the APNU. Right? It's the NDC, it's them. And everybody knows the PPP selling out, giving out, friends, family, and favorites. These lands, and it's not even the people in Mocha. That's the hurtful thing. Not even the people in Mocha. We spoke with the chairman of the NDC today. And asking, what's happening here? What's happening, Mr. Chair? Take a look.
I'm the chairman of Mocha Arcadia NDC. Since 2020, we were trying to engage the government, the current government, through several correspondence regarding various issues. One of the main issues at that time was the increased number of squatters that had started suddenly in 2020. Thereafter, we wrote the Minister of Housing for some assistance, and in order to get the area properly surveyed to accommodate residents from our community. We received no answer. In 2021, which is the following year, we subsequently wrote the government, and this is in various time, not the current council that we have, the previous council, but throughout the period from 2020 to current, we would have been trying to engage the Ministry of Housing. Farther south of the area, this company, Junior Stammy, start clearing area to put up some houses. We then engage the minister with that issue. We inform them about the council's concern about the different persons coming and develop the land without informing the NDC.
And the land is the NDC.
The land come under the management and control of NDC. Section 47 of the local government indicates all undivided land comes under the management of the NDC. We engaged the government again, and there were no response. However, we had a little protest concerning the Junior Sami intervention, and they actually ceased operation. In 2021, because the minister was coming during some wee hours without informing the NDC that their presence in the community, we would have grown accustomed to that. And this was in the presence of now local government minister, Ms. Parag, who was then the Minister of Public Service at the time. But she was the party representative along this area. And they were engaging forces within this community. At one of the meetings, they would have appointed Alicia Bob as one of their field representatives. At that meeting, the entire council, the current council that we have now, visited, and I subsequently informed the minister that this young lady, we have information, credible information, that she's selling land. I then asked him, since he would have appointed her as rep on behalf of the ministry, if the ministry or the minister would have given any permission. And in the presence of Ms. Bobby, he said no.
And what is some of that credible information you all had that the woman in question was selling land?
Okay, the credible information that we had is some person was coming to us, showing us the receipt that they would have paid monies over to Miss Bob for various. The receipt, most of the receipt was written for clearing land. Others was written for parcels of land.
So they were paying this individual for clearing land and for parcels of land. And what are some of those amounts maybe that they were paying?
The amount varies. It varies from 130,000 to 500,000 and as much as 2.2 million, 2.3 million, according to Ms. Rhonda Bob, a social media person who would have aired a program incriminating Ms. Bob because they would have shown a receipt similar to what we have, that Ms. Bob was indeed collecting money. And they were pleading with the police at that time and Ministry of Housing to give their part of the story.
This is somebody selling land that the ministry says has no authority to sell land.
Exactly.
But it's somebody who was appointed by the government to represent their interests in the community.
Exactly. After the incident with Ms. Bob, the council, the current council, had mandated the chairman to write the ministry, informing them to produce these evidence that we have in our possession. On the 16th of October, we did prepare that correspondence, and on the 17th, it was dispatched to the Ministry of Housing, to the minister. It was copied to the local government minister, Ms. Parag, and it was also copied to the regional chairman. Lo and behold, we were apprised of some statement made by the Minister of Housing and the Minister of Local Government, accusing the NDC and opposition elements, according to the news, the statement of selling land.
So this is no longer their PP selling land. It's the NDC.
And the correspondent that I sent outlined what the rep was actually doing. So it actually caught us off hand because the entire narrative has changed from the PPP rep to the NDC.
That you all have receipts showing clearing of lands being paid for, parcels of land being paid for.
Exactly.
And suddenly they're alleging the NDC selling these
land. But I'm challenging the government. I want them to produce one receipt that as I would have done, to show that the NDC is indeed selling land or leasing land. In addition to that, I'm challenging the minister because the old talk that they had, they're challenging us that this land belongs to Gaisuku. We would have showed the minister, we would have dispatched it in a letter in 2023, which outlined the boundary and the demarcation of the area.
But you have intimated to us that the ministry produced or published an edict that nothing should be building or selling or so on. And these are folks still building and selling.
Exactly. As we land, as we speak.
And the ministry is doing nothing about it.
And the ministry is doing nothing about it.
And I want the folks to understand, Mr. Chairman, that this is an area adjacent to the very area that was in contention with the KNView folks
resident that was removed.
And nothing has been done.
And nothing has been done. Now, not one sanction, based on the letter that I would have sent to both ministry of this individual, and the individual become more emboldened to encourage people to come and continue squatting on the land.
So I'm figuring that your council, your NDC, and your communities of the opinion that this person has the backings of the PPP because nothing is being done to correction.
Exactly. And I'm convinced, based on my last correspondence and the two ministries' response, that they're actually condoning this person. When we would have named the person, submit all the documentation to which are credible in terms of our selling land, and then in turn, they are now accusing the NDC of selling land.
You're challenging the ministry to produce any evidence that the NDC is selling land. Is there anything else you ask of the ministry in this particular situation?
how do you move forward? Because the government claimed not to want squatting, and they're sending people to squat on the lands here in Mocha.
Exactly. Now, we would have, in all our correspondence, we would have urged the minister, and by extension, official of the ministry, to come and have dialogue with us. After all, the NDC control and management of this area. You understand? And any project or any activity being conducted in the area has to be initiated by the NDC. The law itself states that. The minister is aware of that because the minister is mentioned about Section 47 or Section 48, and she should be aware that all projects within this boundary supposed to be initiated by the NDC and subject to approval by the minister. You understand me? And I want to remind the minister, both ministers, that they don't have any authority to order the NDC what to do and how not to do it. You understand me? Our work or any work that we're doing, we are aware that it is subject to ministerial approval by the local government. The law would have stated clear, Section 48.
Mr. Chairman, we understand what may be happening here socio-economically, people squatting, maybe they're in a hard time, they need a shelter over that. We understand that is one aspect of it. But politically, what do you think is happening here, perhaps besides the hypocrisy of the PPP?
That was proven. Because while you are against persons from our community on our land squatting, in the case of View, which you call squatting, and those persons was given permission by Gaisuku, in this case here, you are now encouraging them to squat.
These are also Mocha folks, and these are folks.
These are mostly persons from outside of the community. It's only yesterday they were to have a meeting involving the minister, and then suddenly the meeting was actually called off. I will furnish all these information to the ministry. Both ministry are aware of what is going on.
This is what Ministry of Local Government.
Ministry of Local Government, and we would have communicating basically with Ministry of Housing.
And you said you have written several times to Ministry of Local Government in particular and housing. No response.
No response whatsoever. In 4 years period, no response.
Not one.
From 2020 to now. Not one response. Not even a phone call.
Wow.
And that's the time that we're living in. And I'm extending, I was encouraged by the Vice President when he mentioned that the government don't condone corruption. And I want him to look into this matter personally. For a matter of fact, I'll send a copy of the correspondence that I would have sent to both ministry and all the follow-up letters that we would have provided to the ministry concerning the amount of time we would have been writing to them, and they're not responding to us. And the blatant corruption in terms of the receipts that was produced to both ministries that represent Ministry of Housing is selling land. And I want the minister has the authority to go to the administration and said, let us see your receipts to see if you collect any receipt for any housing or lease. And if they could prove it, one, you understand me? One receipt that we would have sold or leased any payment for lease in any way or form. You understand me? Then I would say what the document that they put up addressing that the NDC is selling land is valid. But until then, I can prove and I can say that is invalid. Because the NDC was never involved in such activity. Never involved in such activity. And I hope that the Minister of Local Government, I'm really surprised at her, because in a few instances we had dialogue, and she would have personally relayed to me that this young lady who the minister would have appointed as rep is they're no longer associated with her. But from
the individual that she appointed, who minister?
The Minister of Housing appointed in our presence. You understand?
No longer associated.
It's not only associated with them. And I'm surprised to see that that no reprehension was made to this single person as to these sales of land. Our intention is to take the matter for legal redress. And I do hope the minister understands the nature and extent of this matter, and to come on board and have discussion with the NDC so that we can resolve it amicably. We calling for that. And in all instances, for 4 years, not a single response to any of our correspondents. And I would like to see these things addressed. As the chairman, I have to make representation for our community. But when you make these kinds of representation for persons within your community, you hear you're racist and you pushing against the government. But this is not nothing against the government. We have a mandate to support our community. And we have been working with our community to ensure that they benefit from any lands or anything within our community. But we are doing it in a responsible manner. We are the NDC and we are not collecting money from anybody who purchases land because we know that it have a process that we have to go through. And any sale of land or lease, we will go through a process. But we will not condone persons squatting and collecting money from them under the table, as what's happening now by the government.
Yeah. What a wicked government. Put people off of those lands. Brutal, heart-wrenching way. And now bringing their own people, selling some, telling people come and squat. What a wicked government. Wicked government. You know the cross, I know the cross, we all know the cross. Send this government must go back. They go back. Then go back. I didn't see the numbers. Up new numbers. This government gonna go back. Thieving, corrupt, wicked, stinking, dirty government. Crossing government. Let it go back. That's gonna do it for us at this end, folks. That is gonna do it for us at this end. That's our time. Unfortunately. Fortunately or unfortunately. That's our time, good folks. And that's our program. You guys are gonna see us back on the next one. That's the last bell. You guys are going to see us right back here in the next one. Coral Providence and Andrew, Maxine Monroe, Marcia, Keith, Shamila, Coral, and Charles. All you wonderful, fantastic, peace-loving, uncontroversial people. Right? I see Coral saying we love you. I love back to y'all. I love back to all of y'all too. When then came, thanks, Mr. Chairman, Mocha Arcadia NDC for giving clarity to that matter for us. Please and thank you. Joy Dotson, Wendy Hudson, good to see all of you on the live. Wendy Stevens, good to see you. And Karen, Mohammed, good to see you too. And Mona Moses, Shamila Edgel, good to see each and every one of you folks. Smash that emoji button before you go. Share the live. Please and thank you. Partner with us as well. Remember, folks, that bingo coming up in the PNCR. Did I see Mr. International Lawyer? Chanel Smith Daniels, we see you there as well. And remember our own project, it's still going, folks, it's still going. We're trying to come up the grid. We are heading into quite a period in our country, general and regional elections, and sometimes we can need to be on for 10 hours straight. Bringing you the valid, incredible information. 15 hours straight. We want to put no grid, nobody could press no button, and we looking thin. We need your help, folks. Please and thank you. We want to get this done by our 4th anniversary, which is around the 13th, 14th, 15th of the new one. That being said, folks, that's a time. And that's our program. I go back to Mocha. See that? Stay safe, folks. That's it. Over and out. Over and out. Zoan and Shalon, Lester, Desu, even though Desu, little off tonight. Lester and Shalon. Stay well.